G'day folks, it's Mark here from StreetFX, and today I'm going to show you how to solve one of the small bugs that seems to be occurring in the majority of the 2020 Supras, and that is the very dull center instrument cluster here. Now, this thing here you can barely see in the daylight if you can see from this angle, or any other angle really. It's extremely dim, and it seems to be an oversight on part of Toyota/BMW and not programming the ambient light sensor properly. This becomes an even bigger issue when you've got tinted windows like I do, because inside the dash cluster here, you've got an ambient light sensor that lives just above the fuel gauge. It's somewhere in this area there. And you'll notice, watch what happens when I go and get a torch and I light up this area. There we go, we're gonna get my phone torch here, and I'll light up this area there. Now watch what happens with the screen. All of a sudden it becomes visible, and we take the torch away, and it goes very dull again. So I'd say what they've done is they just haven't calibrated that properly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually reprogram the instrument cluster ECU that allows us to override that setting there. Now, to do this, you're gonna need yourselves an OBD link or something similar to this. This is just the brand that I bought. It's around $100, $150 depending on where you're located. Now, there may be other ones that do work, but this one I know for sure works, and if you do want one of these, there is a link in the description below. So that's just a little guy like this that plugs into your OBD. And aside from that, you will also need the Bimmercode application on your phone, whether you're using Android or iOS. It is available for either. And there we go. So you'll need to install the full version of this, by the way. So the demo version will not work for coding your ECU. So first off, we're just gonna go and take our OBD link, and the OBD port lives down here. And just plug that in, and you'll see it fire up. Okay, now the blue flashing light means that it's trying to connect to your Bluetooth. Now, next thing you do is you put the car into diagnostics mode. To do that, you press the start stop button 3 times. Now, do not press the pedal when you do it. This will just put the car into diagnostics mode, and you'll see it come up on the dashboard here. Diagnostics mode active. Now, before we start, I'll show you where this problem lies, if you can actually even see it in this. So if we go into the menu, go My Vehicle, System Settings, Displays, Control Display. If you can't even see that, it's extremely difficult. So you got Control Display and Brightness at Night. Now note it says Brightness at Night. Now obviously it's daylight. They don't give you any adjustment of the control during the daylight. Now that goes for this as well. No matter what setting that's on, you will still have this problem with the brightness not being sufficient contrast and not being visible during the daylight. And okay, so now that we're in diagnostics mode, we will connect to our OBD connector using Bimmercode, the full license version. The demo version won't allow you to recode your ECU. Now, choose BMW Z4. That's the one here. Just disregard the Toyota Supra one. I know you might want to click on it, but that doesn't have majority of the settings that you want to edit. Now, before you do this, I would suggest that you have your phone plugged into power, turn it on airplane mode, disable any other Bluetooth connections, things like your audio or other phone connections that you may have to the car, because you don't want to have anybody else like interrupt your coding, because it's generally not something you want to dice around with. Not that I have any friends that would call me, but if someone did try and call me, the last thing I want to have them do is call me while I'm trying to do this programming. So anyway, once it's booted up and read the ECU, you'll get these following options, and you'll want to choose head unit. Now it can take a little while to fire up. Now you can do a whole bunch of other things with this, so while I'm at this, I'm going to actually disable things like the navigation warning when you fire up the car. Alright, so we want expert mode. Now display PIP config. Now scroll all the way to the bottom to the one called dim variant. Now that's the one near the bottom. Disregard the one that says zim variant. You want dim variant. Now you want to set that to old and go OK. Now once you've done that, I'm also going to tell it not to put the display the warning when I fire up as well. Alright, you can do all sorts of other things like video input, video while driving, all these sort of things. Now I'm not going to meddle with any of that at the moment, and I'm just going to go code, start coding, and when it reboots, with any luck, so you'll see that the display screen will go black for a second, and when it comes back, with any luck, we'll actually be able to read that screen. Hopefully that will solve our problems. And you can then adjust the brightness even in the daylight and in the night. Alright, so we've rebooted, and immediately you can see that it's far brighter. And we'll go into my vehicle. See, look how much easier this is to see. Go system settings, displays, control display, and now it just says brightness. None of this brightness at night thing. So this is where we were before. That's how dull it was, so you couldn't even read it. Now this is where we're at with the new settings that we've got. And I can tell you right now, it makes a humongous difference. So there we go. That is all we need to know, and we've also wiped off that warning that says warning, don't use this system while driving, blah blah blah, any of that sort of stuff. So that's gone. The biggest issue though is now solved. The screen is visible, and I'd like to thank the guys on the Facebook group for making this information publicly available, and I'll put a link to the OBD link tool in our description. Now, one of the other cool things that we've just noticed that we can do with this Bimmercode application is we can get videos coming up from our USB. Now this is using the our phone as a USB stick basically, and it's a coding section called USB video input, and there's also audio, so video in motion as well. Now I know technically video in motion is not allowed, which is why you got to go through a little procedure on the application to allow it to do it, but it can be done. You're just not allowed to. There you go. So now we can have videos while we're driving. Not that I'd ever actually really feel the need to. Its capability is there to do it with this application. Pretty cool little little perk of having that that app paid for. And that's it. I'm pretty happy with that. It's a little bit annoying that we've had to go buy equipment to be able to fix something that shouldn't be there. I'm sure Toyota will fix this in the not too distant future, because I know a lot of people have been complaining about these issues. Now, if only they could fix the issues that I've been having and everybody else has been having with the launch control, but one step at a time. If you do like our content, make sure you please do subscribe, and then tick the little bell icon so that you get an alert when we post some new content, because in YouTube's infinite wisdom, now you no longer get an alert if we do post new content, which kind of sucks, but oh well. It is what it is, and there we go. Now we have a functional screen again. I can see that much better compared to what we were seeing before. But all right, see you guys. Thanks very much for watching. There's a few thousand horsepower between them all. Some of the collection, we've got an JZA80 Aero Top 6-speed twin turbo, a new A90 Supra, which is a couple weeks old, an 850 horsepower JZA80 hardtop with a big single turbo and 6-speed. A Buddy's Aston Martin, an 800 wheel horsepower R32 GDR, 330 wheel horsepower i30N, and a 550 horsepower S15 nosed 180 SX with an RB26.